The Laugh in the War Room. November 22, 1943. 2:17 a.m. Imperial Japanese Army Headquarters, Rabaul, New Britain. The air is thick with cigarette smoke and the sour smell of fear masked as bravado. A single overhead bulb swings above the map table, casting shadows that dance across the faces of Japan's elite. General Tomoyuki Yamashita, the Tiger of Malaya, leans over the Pacific chart and lets out a short, barking laugh. His finger stabs at a cluster of tiny green dots. "Look," he says, voice dripping contempt. "The Americans are hopping, like frightened rabbits." Around him, colonels and naval captains chuckle on cue. Someone pours sake into porcelain cups. On the map, red arrows show MacArthur's forces skipping past Truk, past the Marshalls, straight toward the Admiralty Islands. Yamashita taps Rabaul's own fortress ring. 100,000 troops, 367 aircraft, tunnels carved into volcanic rock. "Let them hop," he smirks. "They will break their necks on our walls." Outside, monsoon rain hammers the corrugated roof. Inside, the laughter echoes off concrete. No one notices the radio operator in the corner, headphones clamped to his skull, face going pale. A coded intercept crackles through. Task Force 58 will bypass Rabaul entirely. Repeat, bypass. The general waves it away. Feint, distraction. They cannot supply a leap that far. But the operator's hand trembles as he writes the coordinates. The room smells of sake and overconfidence. And somewhere across the black water, an American carrier group turns its bows north. The first skip, February 29, 1944, 5:42 a.m. Flight deck of USS Enterprise, 180 miles southeast of Truk Atoll. Salt spray stings the cheeks of 19-year-old aviation machinists made Robert O'Hare as he wrestles a 1,000-pound bomb under the wing of an F-6F Hellcat. The deck pitches in heavy swell, steel groans like a living thing. High overhead, Rear Admiral Mark Mitcher stands on the bridge, binoculars glued to the dawn. His voice is calm steel over the 1 megacoulomb, launch the strike. Truk is to be photographed, bombed, and forgotten. Hellcats roar off the catapults in pairs, climbing into a sky the color of bruised plums. Below them, the Japanese lookouts on Dublon Island see only empty ocean where they expected a fleet. By the time the air raid sirens wail, 72 fighters and 54 dive bombers are already screaming down. In Rabaul, Yamashita is shaving when the phone line from Truk sputters alive. A panicked naval lieutenant screams that the lagoon is burning, that half the combined fleet's air strength is sinking in fiery spirals. Yamashita wipes lather from his jaw, stares at the mirror, and for the first time feels the floor tilt beneath him. Back at sea, Mitcher's pilots return with gun camera film, 39 ships aflame, 275 planes destroyed on the ground. The admiral marks Truk with a single red X and murmurs to his chief of staff, "Cross it off the map." The Enterprise turns away, no landing attempted, no troop ships in sight, just the smell of avgas and the fading echo of engines heading somewhere else. The noose slips tighter. March 30, 1944. 1911, aboard the light cruiser USS Baltimore, steaming through the Bismarck Sea. Admiral Chester Nimitz stands at the chart table under a green-shaded lamp, tracing a grease pencil line that arcs past the Admiralty Islands, past Wewak, straight to Hollandia on the north coast of New Guinea. His finger stops. "Here," he says, "we take the head, not the tail." Across 1,200 miles of ocean, General Hatazo Adachi, commander of the Japanese 18th Army, receives frantic orders from Tokyo, reinforce Hollandia at all costs. Expect American landing within weeks. Adachi's staff scrambles to load barges with rice and ammunition. They never notice the American submarines, USS Darter and USS Dace, ghosting along the coast, counting every barge, every soldier. April 22, 1944. Dawn. The sky above Hollandia erupts in a thunder no one expected. Over 200 B-24 Liberators, B-25 Mitchells, and a -20 Havocs drop from 20,000 feet, plastering airfields before Japanese pilots can scramble. On the beaches, General Robert Eichelberger's First Corps storms ashore against only 11,000 bewildered defenders, mostly rear echelon cooks and clerks. By nightfall, 3 airfields are in American hands. In Rabaul, Yamashita slams a fist on the map. Hollandia was supposed to be a sideshow. Now it's a dagger aimed at the Philippines. His chief of staff whispers, "They never fought for the admiralties. They just took them." On the captured airstrips, Seabees in sweat-soaked dungarees already pour Marston mats. Within 48 hours, P-38 Lightnings touch down, refuel, and leapfrog another 400 miles west. The noose is not around Rabaul. It's around the entire empire. The garrison that starved. June 15, 1944, 11:03 p.m. Rabaul, inside the volcanic tunnels of Tavervor. A single kerosene lamp flickers over a circle of gaunt faces. Colonel Hiramiki Yahara, senior staff officer to General Hitoshi Imamura, reads the latest ration report aloud. 1,800 calories per man per day, down from 3,200 2 months ago. Rice moldy, canned fish gone. The men's cheekbones jut like knife edges. Outside, the monsoon has turned the crater into a lake of mud. American B-24s, now flying from Hollandia, circle overhead at 25,000 feet, too high for the few remaining Zeros to reach. Each night, 500-pound bombs walk across the runways, cratering them faster than the 5,000-man work details can fill. Imamura stares at the map. Red arrows show MacArthur's forces already at Biak, 1,100 miles west. Blue arrows show Nimitz's carriers striking the Marianas. Rabaul is no longer a fortress. It is an island in a sea of enemies. A radio message crackles from Tokyo, "Hold Rabaul to the last man." It is the shield of the empire. Yahara crumples the paper. "Shield," he mutters. "We are the bait." Across the bay, a Japanese destroyer tries to run the blockade under cover of darkness. Searchlights from PT boats snap on like white knives. Torpedoes hiss. The destroyer rolls over, boilers exploding in a geyser of steam and burning oil. In the tunnel, the lamp gutters. Someone whispers, "They aren't coming to fight us. They're waiting for us to rot." The Phantom Fleet, October 20, 1944, 6:30, Leyte Gulf, Philippines. The dawn is blood-red over the San Bernardino Strait. General Tomoyuki Yamashita, reassigned from Singapore to command the Philippines' defense, stands on a hill above Tacloban, binoculars trembling in his hands. Below, hundreds of American landing craft crawl ashore like black beetles. Overhead, Hellcats in perfect formation stitch the sky with tracer fire. Yamashita's radio crackles with impossible news. Kurita's center force sighted off Samar. Battleships Yamato and Musashi engaging enemy escorts. For one heartbeat, hope flares. The Imperial Navy's last gamble. But 400 miles east, Admiral William Halsey chases a ghost. Japanese carriers under Ozawa, empty decks, no planes, lure 3rd Fleet north. Yamashita doesn't know it yet, but the jaws are closing. On Leyte's Red Beach, Major General Vern Muehlbauer watches Seabees bulldoze coconut logs into instant airstrips. By noon, P-38s from Morotai land, refuel, and strafe Japanese columns retreating into the jungle. Yamashita's 14th Area Army, 250,000 men, begins to fracture. That night, a runner reaches Yamashita with a captured American map. It shows Rabaul circled in red, labeled, neutralized. No further offensive action required. The Tiger of Malaya stares at the ink until it blurs. Somewhere in the dark, a Japanese soldier scrawls on a cave wall, "We were the fortress. Now we are the forgotten." The silence that swallowed Rabaul. August 15, 1945, 9 o'clock, Rabaul, the crater bowl of Matupi Harbor. The war ends with a whisper, not a bang. General Hitoshi Imamura stands on the same balcony where Yamashita once laughed at rabbits. Below, 69,000 skeletal soldiers, once the pride of the empire, form ragged lines in the volcanic ash. Their uniforms hang like rags on scarecrows. Rifles are stacked in pyramids, the bolts have long since rusted shut. A single B-25 Mitchell circles low, engines throttled back to a lazy purr. From its belly, a loudspeaker booms in Japanese, "His Imperial Majesty has accepted the terms of surrender. Lay down your arms." The words echo off the tunnel mouths where men once carved out a subterranean city. No one cheers, no one protests, only the wind answers, rattling palm fronds stripped bare by years of bombing. Imamura's adjutant, Colonel Yahara, steps forward. His boots kick up red dust that stains the cuffs of his trousers like dried blood. He carries a white bedsheet torn from a field hospital. When he raises it on a bamboo pole, the cloth snaps once, twice, then hangs limp in the humid air. You can almost taste the silence. It is thicker than the smoke that used to choke these skies. Far to the west, MacArthur signs the surrender aboard USS Missouri. No one in Rabaul is invited. They are not defeated in battle, they are erased by absence. A young private drops to his knees in the ash. He claws at the ground, pulls up a single green shoot, life pushing through the grave of an empire. Tears cut channels down cheeks caked with grime. The camera lingers on that shoot, then pans up to the empty sky where once 367 aircraft ruled. The island hopping is over. The noose didn't strangle Rabaul. It simply walked away, and left the fortress to choke on its own laughter.